This is Claudia here from Euroblast 2019. Frostbitt is with us. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
So, coming off stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now. People were moving like crazy and so were you.
Yeah.
Where do you take all the energy from?
The songs and compositions is very... we wrote it with the mindset of playing it live. And like, especially the vocal lines for me is like I tap deep into the personal, like emotional space. So for me it's very strong, kind of like therapeutic to like play these songs live. So I can't help but like play it as if I just have to give 110%. That's just the way it goes with these songs.
Yeah, just go all out, you know. Yeah, definitely.
So when you're writing, then are you actually recording stuff, or are you programming, or
you want to take
do you jam?
Partially. We might, like I might come up with a riff or something, or he might come up with a drum part, play it at rehearsal, or I record it at home. And then Ivan might sit on his computer and write the whole song out. Here's the finished thing. What you think? And then we come up with like either new ideas or expand on.
We use a lot of we use Guitar Pro a lot. We program like we jam out the riffs and we just try it out and plug it in Guitar Pro, and that's usually how we just like ship it and just check this riff out. Does it work? Does it not? Try to compose a song or maybe parts for a song. So sometimes we've recorded written stuff without even an instrument close by. So
because a lot of the ideas for the riffs and stuff comes from just like jamming or having a weird tuning on the guitar or something like that. But like we play very technical rhythmic music, so when you have like the like bland idea, you have to break it down into the computer to like piece it together and make the cycles go around. And we are very, very nerdy when it comes to that stuff. And like it has to like
make sense, you know.
Yeah, make sense. And if it doesn't feel right, then we work on it until it feels right.
So is there a lot of discussions going on?
Yeah, we sometimes. It's been fun, like with the latest album. We've been going back and forth on a couple of tracks. Like some tracks we wanted to go with, and then we record them, and then they just don't sound like we wanted to, or it just doesn't fit into the album as a whole. And then we maybe go with a reserve or backup song that we have lying by, or just change it up a bit and then just make it ready for release. So
like I really like the song and you don't.
The other way.
We try to blend them together and it don't work, and it's happy. We try to write a new one, and everything's happy again.
It usually works out. And Ivan does most of the writing, so he's like the mastermind there. And all of us, we all have our influences that we put in, and we try to cooperate on the whole writing and recording progress. So like everyone's sort of influence and soul and work is noticeable in it.
So when you're writing your lyrics, do you have like a notebook where you keep some phrases or words, or do you write everything from scratch for a special song?
For the lyrics, it often starts with actually just the title. That's a thing that I often like. I like to like speak or like make the lyrics with like the image of the, for example, icicle, and then like you picture yourself in a cave with like a bunch of icicles, but that's like just the outer image. Often I use it as a personal
like a metaphor?
Reference, metaphor. For example, avalanche and everything goes to shit, and that's like stuff we do all the time. So all our tracks usually have like this very big title, like it's something very imaginary, yeah. That's basically where it starts usually. But of course, sometimes I'm just thinking about a phrase and just that would be sick to sing as well.
That sounds good. Actually.
Yeah. Right.
So, but usually you have this one idea,
Yeah.
and then you make sort of a film in your head.
Yeah.
Start.
Kind of, yeah. And then I draw I try to draw it into the personal, like what I've been through, or like just to tie it into emotions or stuff like that.
Something people can relate to, but also something that we know how to write about, and to just tie that up into the metaphor or the whatever that you can keep so many references to stuff through things we see in nature, or just things we put in our songs, just comparables and just parallel things that we see in nature or we see in life in general, and just pull it into like emotional space where people can relate to it.
So, do you get to talk about these ideas and pictures in the head, or?
Sometimes these guys ask me what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's good.
But I like to keep it a bit personal, I guess, and a little bit open to interpretation.
Yeah.
Kind of. But for the most part, it's really personal, actually. Yeah.
But you don't have lyrics first, or do you also
never,
do that?
never.
No.
That would be impossible because of the rhythms and stuff. I have to adjust to the song. I think I can.
I hear that quite often. That's why I'm asking.
Right.
Yeah. Most people have the music first, and then the lyrics come along.
Yeah, right. Unless it's like this phrase that I'm just like, okay, I have to make this into the song. Then it could maybe happen, but that's not the case usually.
It's rare.
Yeah, that's not the case.
But as a composer, you are also very much of a concept guy.
Yeah, I guess.
I remember it was around a month ago. He came home from work, and he just, guys, I have this whole next album done, in my head. So he gets an idea, and then he just elaborates around it. And it's always cool to see what he gets up with. So it's nice. Yeah.
Always
Just wanted to add that.
always very exciting when he says that he's got it. That's like the eureka moment, where he just throws the papers in the air. I've got it.
Yeah.
We got it. We got to work now. Just throw everything out the window. We're going to work on this right now. You got to buy a new guitar. You got to buy a new bass, and you got to do this.
So how much gear do you have at home then?
We have enough.
Can you ever have enough?
All the gear we have actually brought, I think. Almost, except the drums.
Yeah.
So we don't have that much expensive gear actually. We're not but we have what we need, and we use what we need as efficient as we can.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what would that be in your case? So important.
Well, we have enough. We have the bass guitars, we have the guitars, 8-string guitars.
Oh, what kind of? Or?
Ibanez and the Schecter.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so the Ibanez is the main guitar.
And Schecter is yours.
And
Yeah, and the Schecter is mine. We just share everything. It's fine. And I play a Agile Bryce 5-string bass. Just changed out the pickups, and it works great. It's my best friend, pretty much.
What pickups did you put in?
The Bartolini pickups, and they are also in the same on the backup bass, which is an Ibanez SDGR, which is a 6-string, and just the backup bass for this case because I'm just manhandling those basses.
Yeah.
So I have to be real careful with the slightly more expensive stuff. But I love my Agile. It's sturdy, and she's been through so many terrible things. It's actually amazing. She's
survived.
still in one piece.
Yeah.
So that's good old Betty for you. She.
Well, we had a couple of shows where your pickups actually fell off.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So the energy is there, to put it that way.
I think that was one of our early gigs where the pickup just fell out and I had to duct tape the pickup back on.
On the spot.
Yeah, on the spot. And
Anyone's got tape?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I also use like a really heavy gauge strings. We tune the bass down to drop E, so 20 hertz below.
Standard bass.
Yeah. So it's really low, and the strings are really thick, and even those I managed to break somehow. So
Wow.
yeah, they always mention it when we're in rehearsal and I break a string. Like, how the fuck do you do that?
You're supposed to slap the bass, not like.
Yeah.
So the only thing you ever get for Christmas and birthday is strings. I hope
Actually,
not.
I should put that on my wish list.
Wish list.
I definitely
Start
should.
giving each other
yeah.
birthday presents and Christmas.
And our live rig is actually pretty awesome. We are rocking in-ear monitoring for all of the band, and we have like a personal mixer for each one of us, which is called a jam hub. So we really have an awesome time. We're going on stage because we just hook up arcades. We got all our monitoring, and we just give the cables from the guitars and the backing tracks to the sound engineer. So we're really satisfied with that part, because then we can hear exactly what we want, and we can just like go ham and still like hear everything. So for us it's been amazing. Yeah.
Out. They don't need to like, oh, I need more vocals in my monitor.
Yeah.
Like, they don't need to care about that. Like,
Yeah, you do it yourself.
we have everything set up by ourselves, and the sound guy can just focus
We've
on
always
make us
done
sound the best we can.
We've always been a band that's like everything we can do ourselves, we want to do ourselves. That's like been the whole thing.
Yeah, especially with us coming out from smaller venues, you know, there's a lot of shit going on, and it's hard to like get the perfect monitoring and make sure everyone is on the same page. So we found that solution, and it's working out really, really great for all our shows and all the countries we play in. So really satisfied with that. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What do you think on the term artist? Who is an artist? Who decides?
In my opinion, someone who's emotionally connected to the music and wants to break boundaries, wants to take the art in a new direction, in a step further. That's an artist to me.
And who do you think is an artist? Are you an artist?
Oh, I really have a hard time with that word, because it's so subjective.
Yeah.
I think of myself as part of an artist, maybe, if an artist can be like a group of people,
Oh, why
or
not?
collective of people.
Yeah.
Because I believe that we do make stuff that gives value to people, and it wakes something up in you. And if you don't like it, that's fine. That's art. It's subjective, and you don't need to like anything you see around you. But we have gotten so much support and feedback from people who they react to our music, and it means a lot, and it's really touching, and it just really gets to you. And I think that is part of at least working as an artist, or being part of an artist collective, that shows you that you've done something and you've gotten something back, like the response of the art. That's part of the process of being an artist, I think.
So the connection to the people. That
Yeah,
you're
the
playing.
connection, the response. I think that's like the main part of being or recognizing an artist. Yeah.
So thank you very much for the interview.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And thanks for your music and making people move. Thanks. Bye bye. Yeah, making people move.